Employment League, which apparently is a new word. Where at the times the system has been working against him, he's been able to move forwards through his life. Mark and his father, Chris Grantham, will share his story. I now pass over to Mark Grantham, QSM. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We've called this Unstuck from the rut I wasn't in. Mark wasn't stuck in a rut, but the powers that be tried to put him in one. They still do. He got out of the school they chose into the school he chose. He got out of the home they said was ideal for him into the one he wanted. He got out of the nouveau post-institution that they said was great into the home that he loves. He's had a life out of offering limited opportunities. He's got out of a life offering limited opportunities into a life with opportunities that he's created. This year, the Queen on New Year's Day reckoned Mark had done quite a good job of that and gave him a Queen's Service Medal, New Year's Honours, which he's wearing there, and you can't touch it. So I thought I deserved it, but it was Mark's name that appeared in the list, so he's very proud. So we're going to talk about some of those transitions that I've just alluded to, but before we do, I'm just going to show you some of what Mark has been up to.
I met Mark in 1994 at church, and I've been a friend of him ever since. In 2001 I spent 6 months in India working as a doctor there, and I really enjoyed the culture and my time there. And on returning, I had the idea that it would be good if Mark wished to travel to India, that I would help him to do that. Given his disabilities, that he would need help. It wasn't my idea to go to the slums of India to visit the World Vision children. It was Mark's idea, but I was very happy to accompany him and to help him.
I'm planning to go to India to see my 3 World Vision kids. My World Vision children are between 4 and 60 years old. I sell chocolate on the side of the road for my kids.
How many chocolate bars do you think you've sold to?
10,000.
So how long have you been painting to this day?
Over about a year. A year.
Well, he didn't actually need a doctor. His condition is stable. He just needed somebody who had been to India before and who was able to help him with his care. He needed at least 2 caregivers, so I really went in the capacity of a caregiver.
Just with the wheelchair, it can be quite difficult with accessibility. Slums and project areas aren't necessarily set up, and we're not able to get the wheelchair in there.
How is it?
Yeah, it's not too far, but the track there is very narrow.
Yep.
Some places there's nowhere to stand.
In India we couldn't take the big electrical chair where Mark usually gets around using his chin on an electrical steering device. That was far too heavy for the plane and for the uneven streets.
I'll never forget this. Because you are all very precious to my heart.
Mark, of course, has been excited about this trip for a number of years, and So the actual time where he met the families was hugely exciting for him. It was very exciting for him. Therefore, the whole process and the difficulty even in getting there into some of those places was exciting for him. When the families saw Mark, they were of course excited to see the person who had been donating the money and supporting their community. They were also, in some ways, very curious about this young man who was in a wheelchair and obviously had quite severe disabilities. There were lots of questions about his life.
I'm really happy for what I am doing because the Lord's really placed it on my heart to go.
Love is stronger than life.
The final part was the final step in his journey, and he was very pleased to be able to see the children that he had been sponsoring.
Are you okay, Haley?
This year we gave to them all the sponsor children. And this is Akash. He's asking me, how are you?
I'm good.
Spans the chasm between you and I. In these moments we feel our hearts beat as one. The language of love I see in your eyes. In our future we know it can't be undone. It can't be undone. Our hearts beat as one. Love is stronger than life.
Okay, Mike, I want to talk about some of your transitions. Firstly, to school, going to school. What school did you go to, start off at?
Kevin High School,
Whereabouts?
421 Turnbull Street in Wellington.
Okay, and how old were you when you went there?
5,
Was that a mainstream school or a special school?
special school.
And how did you like going there at the very beginning?
I hated it because really they dumped me in the corridor. This is the taxi drivers dumps me anywhere, and I called her to for someone to take me into the classroom.
But you sometimes sat out in the corridor for 10-15 minutes
Yeah, that's
and
right.
you weren't very happy.
No,
No, did you stick with it?
yeah,
So you went to a special school for a while, and then you came the opportunity to go to your
yeah.
local school, which was near your home. But would the government pay for your taxi?
No,
So we had to pay for a taxi. So you're nearby
yeah,
school. So did we like that?
no.
So who did we go and see?
You like this Peter Dunn?
Peter Dunn, remember him?
Yeah.
He's been around for, when did you start school?
Ages ago.
1983, yeah. So you went to see
And he still wears his bow ties.
Yeah. So you went to see Peter Dunn, and in the end, you got a letter from the Minister of Education approving that. Who was that?
David Long.
He was the Minister of Education and the Prime Minister, and he approved you could go to your local school. So did you enjoy going to your local school?
Yeah,
Because your sister was there and you could see some of what she was talking about.
yeah, that's right.
So you did that, and then you're back at Kamiora, and you're aged about 13 or 14, and did you want to stay there for the rest of your life, like some of them did?
No, I did not.
Where did you want to go?
To Wellington College
Why?
because I wanted to be hockey anyone else like a normal one would.
You wanted to go just where your mates from Karori were going?
Yeah, that's right.
And unfortunately, the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education again said they didn't have enough money. So what did you decide to do?
Sit outside Parliament buildings and got.
And what'd you do there?
And sold chocolate
And how much did you get?
$50.
And who did you take it to? Who did you take it to? The $50.
Oh God.
Who did you go to first? Your local MP again?
Peter Dunn.
Peter Dunn, and he gave it to the Ministry of Education.
Yeah, and they gave it back.
And did you go to Wellington College?
Yes, and I had it clinched, and so they let me go.
Okay, now you were at Wellington College and you really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But we got a letter that the headmaster had written to the Ministry of Education saying it's not working. Did we think it was working?
Yeah.
Did they think it was working?
No.
Did they talk to us?
No.
No. So they wrote to the Ministry of Education and said, please remove you.
Yeah.
So, and there were a number of reasons specified in the letter as to why Mark did not fit at Wellington College. One was that all their special needs funding was used for who?
Visually impaired people.
And were you visually impaired at the time?
Certainly not.
So I wrote to the principal saying how we would be able to. I knew how we could access that money.
Poke my eyes out.
Did you stay at the school?
Yes.
Did I poke your eyes out?
Certainly not.
But we won that one.
Yeah, we often win.
What do you mean often? So then, Mark, we moved out of Wellington. Where did we go?
To Auckland.
And what school did you go to there?
Mount Roskill Grammar.
And was that special school, local school? What was it?
And then a unit attached. A unit attached to
So you did some stuff in the mainstream?
Yes, that's right, I did some stuff.
And you did an exam there?
Yeah, first form and two the English, sixth form and two the English.
And you do quite well at your English, especially in speaking. So Mark,
thank you.
Yeah, you owe me something. And so Mark, you decided you were very happy living with your family and you wanted to live with your family, lovely folks, for the rest of your life, right?
Certainly not.
So how old were you when you started planning to get out without telling
19. It was Lorraine Vickery from Mount Roskill Grammar.
Were you working away on the side?
Yes.
And so, so where did you go?
I do a house school here. 9 Kitchener Road in Sandringham.
I mean, weren't you happy with your family? Wasn't it lovely with us?
I was getting quite
Doesn't matter.
tedious.
Okay, so you decided to move on, and so
Yes.
fair enough. So, and this was pretty good. So you went into what sort of place was it?
It was a residential place. It got really institutionalised.
Did it start good?
Yes, it started awesome.
And so what time would you get up in the morning?
7 o'clock. Yeah,
What about Saturdays, weekends?
7 o'clock.
Holidays?
7 o'clock.
Christmas Day?
7 o'clock.
So it's quite flexible.
Yeah.
And there was one time, they used to write incident forms, and there was one time...
I broke my tibia.
How did that happen?
A telecom fan backed into me and said it was my fault.
That was while you were just cruising around outside your own home,
Yeah.
in your own property?
Yeah.
And so obviously they would write an incident form about that?
No.
Because it was your fault, so they didn't bother?
No.
However, you wanted to marry one of your assistants, and was that pretty serious?
No.
Well, they did write an incident form about that, didn't they?
That's right.
Yeah. So you found it a bit tough, but it was still good having your own space.
Yeah.
And they called it a residential home.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because we all live in residential homes, don't we? But they don't call them that.
And we would have ramming competitions.
You would ram each other.
Yeah.
And how did you choose your flatmates? Because they were your friends?
No, the organisation does it for you. So you don't have any control about it whatsoever.
And so basically, your flatmates are chosen because it's a bit like me choosing my flatmates because they have the same size shoes. You all had wheels.
Yes.
And did that make you compatible?
Yes.
Did it?
No.
No, it's not what I saw. Anyhow, 11 years ago, CCS Disability Action invited you to come to a conference.
Yes, and they were...
What was it about? What's the conference about?
Living independently in your own house, and Matt Whiting is a good friend from Christchurch. He did it, and he proved the parents wrong.
How do you mean he proved the parents wrong?
Because if he could do it, and they said I could do it too.
Do you think I thought that was a good idea before the conference?
No, Chris was sceptical right up to the Lorna Sullivans had to push him at the airport to come.
So I was invited to come to the conference. So CCS paid for you.
Yes.
They invited you to come, and they invited me to come. And what did I think they wanted me to come?
And the caregivers, but that was not the way to do it, because they had caregivers on the ground in Wellington on the ground to help me with all these sort of things.
So why did they want me to come?
To be a father.
To what? To be your father. But why did they want me to come if it wasn't to be a caregiver?
Oh, to be integrated into the conference.
And to see what you were saying?
Yes.
Yeah, because as you said, I was sceptical. And so you saw Matt Whiting, who was a guy with cerebral palsy, who lived in his own home.
Yes.
And so what did you think?
If he could do it, so could I.
So what happened when you got home?
And 6 months, I told my mum, and my mum was on the phone 6 weeks, and then I got moved into my house 6 weeks later.
6 months later?
Yeah, 6 months.
And how long ago was that?
10 years, nearly 11.
And you've been in your own home 10 years?
Yeah.
And do you have caregivers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I thought you didn't.
Yeah, my PAs.
Your PAs?
Yeah.
And so what time do they make you get up in the morning?
8 o'clock in the morning.
Do they make you get up then?
Certainly not. But if I want to get up early, they get me up early.
And if you want to have a sleep in?
They have a sleep in.
And if you want to go out?
They let me go out.
They open the door and you go out?
No.
So who tells you what to do?
My own boss.
Who's that? Me?
Me.
You? Okay, and how often do we come round?
Not very often.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Thank you. And what sort of a life do you have?
Quite good.
Do you want to tell me anything that I don't know?
Not particularly.
If I left the room, you'd have a few things to say, would you?
No.
And so you have a good life?
Yeah.
If I were to offer you $500 to go back to the institution, the residential house, would you take it?
No, thank you.
1,000?
No, thank you.
10,000?
No, thank you.
You wouldn't?
No, but my funding's been cut.
Your funding's been cut.
Yeah.
So does that mean they want to get you back into?
Yeah, but I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to stay strong in my house.
And you have a good life.
Yeah.
And you've actually sold 50,000 bars of chocolate.
Yeah, because the chocolate land said, do you know you're giving your son an injustice? Because the chocolate seller, the man said, I've been selling it, I've been giving you these out much of boxes.
Yeah, in the story, which we've got copies for sale, normally $30. What we do for these guys?
$25.
I would plan this. It's a great story, and I have to admit I wrote it myself, which is why it's great.
Yeah, it's self-published.
Self-published, a chocolate seller on Broadway, and in this I mentioned Mark had sold by this stage 30,000 bars of chocolate, and or 20,000 or something, and the...
and we don't want any books back either.
No. And the guy who has been supplying chocolates rang me and said, your son had injustice. Because at that stage it was 40,000, now it's 50,000. So I've got copies of this for 25. Will you sign it?
Yeah.
It's a good read. It's got photos of Mark with some very famous people. What other countries have you been to, Mark?
Hallelujah.
Did you speak at a conference there?
Yes, in Waikiki Beach here.
And did you lead most of the sunset cocktails down at the beach every year?
Yes, that's right.
Stranded poolside with your cocktail. Really sad. Does Hayley go with you?
Yeah.
And she was up there in India. Where else have you been?
Canberra. I saw Judy at Gillard.
In Parliament? Yes, she's gone, long gone. We don't know who Julia Gillard is. Yeah. So where else have you been?
England.
England? Did you see the Queen?
No, I had a royal wedding.
Oh, well, we won't go into that.
No, that's right.
And you had a great party celebrating your Queen Service Medal.
Yes, it was.
And is it true that the Queen presented it to you? Or a Queen impersonator?
Probably a bit more.
A git?
Yeah.
That's how he refers to his father, who does part-time Queen impersonation. Thank you very much for that. We'll move straight on.
Yeah, right.
Transition. How come you made all these transitions? Have we pushed you into
No,
those things?
Because my parents won't be there. I mean, there all my life. I realise that, and I need to get out of the bed, out of the community, yeah. And they've got grandkids to look after now, so...
Are these your children?
No, Rachel and my sister. Yeah, so they do a very good job too, but when I see them, yeah, they're good.
What, your niece and nephews are good, or me and Mum?
Yeah, but all of you.
Oh, thank you. Cool. Look, Mark, there's something that was at the party celebrating your QSM. The CEO of World Vision made a special offer. We won't say what it is. We'll show what it is, shall we? Made a special offer for you at your party. So I'll just pull this up.
I think now we're moving on to chocolate. The man you're about to meet is too often defined as being a tetraplegic with cerebral palsy. But the most important thing you need to know about Mark Grantham is that he's actually a hero.
He sold so much chocolate for World Vision, they actually let him run the show for a day, leaving the actual CEO scratching around for something to do. Tim Wilson with the tale of a life less ordinary.
Meet the boss, Mark Grantham, filling in the big chair of World Vision. He's got the plaque, the mini QSM to match the real one at home, and Dad helping out as personal assistant. The CEO who doesn't say no.
I let people have half an hour off.
Good grief, half an hour?
Yeah.
Big ball man,
Usually you'll find Mark selling chocolate in Auckland's Newmarket, something he's very good at. In 25 years, Mark has sold 50,000 chocolate bars.
It comes down to determination.
Determination, something the guy filling Mark's chair is severely lacking.
I've sold less than 30 bars. Mark always sells always over 100. And of those 30, I've sold 10 to my own kids.
Yesterday, Mark was CEO of World Vision. Today, he's just another guy trying to move the merch and knowing what he needs.
Persuasion, I think, is probably the first thing. I've noticed that all women just completely ignore me.
Something that CEO Mark doesn't have to worry about. Here he is in another meeting. He sponsors 5 children. Wait, make that 6.
I'm not married and I've got 6 kids.
Meanwhile, the apprentice chocolate seller is struggling.
Even young children are just walking past, they don't want to buy my chocolate.
Eventually, he calls the master.
Yes, hello, can I speak to Mark Grantham, please? It's Chris Grantham speaking.
Hey Mark, I've got Chris Clark on the phone. Are you free to talk?
No, I'm too busy.
Thanks for some chocolate.
Oh, what a neat guy. What a neat guy.
And that's basically it. So we didn't bring chocolates because they would have melted in the van, but we do have books. If you're up in Newmarket, in Auckland, Mark's there many Saturdays and other days, especially run up to Christmas. So come and help yourself, and you've been a good bunch. Thank you.
So Mark, was it $25 you're going to do for your books? And do you have a stall over there, or are we doing it here? Or